Hi guys, one more time, I'm Kalai, your upline from Malaysia. This time talking to you from my home in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. How has the camp been so far guys? I understand there's more than 200 of you this weekend in this environment. Amazing, unbelievable. Okay, when I first joined this business, when I first came for my first camp, I was wondering who on the earth will be able to put 200 adults in a room, get them to leave their jobs, families, children, everything to be with a team of people in a weekend. But to know today that Hajara and her leadership have put all of you together in a country called Uganda, I am so proud guys. I'm so proud of what the leadership has done. I also understand from them that yesterday you had a little chance to talk about the company, how good QNAT is, what QNAT has done. And now I understand you know QNAT a little bit more. And let me just add to what you talked yesterday. To me personally, I don't see any other company that is going to be better than QNAT in the coming decade. Okay? QNAT simply has put itself in a position ahead of everyone else. I usually give a simple example. You know internet, right? Okay, you guys are familiar with internet today in Uganda. Remember the days there was a dial-up. You got to connect to IT guys in the room. Who are the IT guys? Can you remember this time when it was a dial-up? But today in Uganda, there's fiber optic. Every other network marketing company is a dial-up. QNAT is a fiber optic. And yes, you heard that right. It's fiber optic. And you made the right decision by being here at the right place, right time, with the right organization, North Star, and with the right company, QNAT. Okay? And you heard the story of Farida and Yusuf. To me, they are a dynamic couple, amazing, wonderful, lovely, dynamic couple. Okay, I've been to their home and I know them personally. I've had lunch in their house with the children and the family. When you're in someone's home for 2 hours, you know what the family is like. Guys, whoever directly works with Hajara and Yusuf, you are blessed. Okay, I have no doubt, not a single doubt, they're going to be conquering Africa. They're going to be one of the most powerful couples in this continent soon. And you heard and you were inspired by the story of Catherine. Catherine, well done Catherine. Malaysia also heard your story and we are very happy to have you as a North Star family member, and we are waiting for more successful stories from you. And then Hajara sent you back yesterday night with thinking about your dreams, okay, putting some thought in your mind. You went to sleep thinking about what you really want. And you came back this morning with Ida taking you through a process called Spear of Silence. Let me tell you this. You take whoever in the world, the success stories, from Oprah Winfrey to Mother Teresa to Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, or even President Obama, or our very own Dato Sri Vijay Ishwaran. All of them will say they actually put aside some time. They call it their silent moment, their sacred moment, their time to themselves, either in the morning or at night, working on their day, planning for their day, and putting their thoughts aligned. And Dato Sri Vijay Ishwaran is the only man that I know in the world that has put this into a proper system for you and I to follow, a common man like you and I to follow. Okay, if there's something that you're going to take back home from this camp, and I really hope it's the spirit of silence, it's the discipline to keep your daily activities intact, to make your day productive, and to keep tab of what you're doing every day, and making sure that every day your activity contributes back to your dream. Then you sat down with Ida, no, sorry, you sat down with, if I'm not mistaken, was Farida, and you basically did your DreamWorks. Okay, don't worry guys, that's basically my alarm clock. My dad made sure we have a very loud alarm clock so that the whole house knows the time and we keep track of our day so that we don't lose our day, guys. So make sure you have that alarm clock back home, okay? Back to our DreamWorks. The only way you're going to make that DreamWorks a reality is when you keep track of what you're doing every day. And your activity every day has to contribute to the DreamWorks, okay? And now let's talk a little bit about this dream work that you did. And I want to tell you something. Every single thing that you put on that dream work is possible. It can come true, provided you're willing to pay the price. That's the word you need to understand today, paying the price. Are you willing to pay the price? Like I always tell anyone, can I with this body look like a supermodel? Yeah, why not? If I'm willing to pay the price. Am I willing to exercise 3 hours a day and not eat carbs and not eat so much of food and take control of everything that I eat? Guys, if I do that in 2 years, I probably will look like a supermodel. But the question is, am I willing to pay the price? I don't know. Now goes back to this. Is being supermodel that important to me? I don't know because I haven't thought about that. So that goes back to, is these pictures you put on that dream work is important to you? If it is important to you, you will pay the price. You see, when I came into this business, yes, I came in here like I told you yesterday, simply because I wanted to make some extra money. But very fast when I was in the system and I understood the world outside, I very quickly understood that I needed this business. It was no longer an option of making extra money. Probably if I wanted to live a life of my dreams or a luxury life or to have more than normal, ordinary people do, I need the system. You see, I come from a simple home. Okay? A simple home meaning I grew up in a village. Okay? My dad never went to school. And I think I told this story many times and I always like to tell this story. He stood outside the school and learned how to read and write. And because of that, he made sure every kid in the village gets education. Because he believed so much in education and he believed that education will set us free. I'm an engineer, I have a sister who's an economist, my brother is a lawyer. So my dad did pretty well for a man who never went to school. Then again, after I started working, I realized that my dad's plan or his system might not work today. It probably worked 40 years ago, but not in today's world. Because 40 years ago, engineers, lawyers, economists were rich. But today, I could not make ends meet. So how do I go back to the village and look at my dad in his eyes and tell him that his system failed? I couldn't do that. So that's the reason why I wanted to make this business work for me. Yes, I know Hajara reminded me today that I showed 96 plans and nobody signed up. You know guys, I forgot about that, okay? Today, I forgot about how I went through the 96 plans. But you know what? When I thought about it, yes, it was not easy. Every day when there was a rejection, you know, being a girl, I'll cry, go back and cry for a while. And I ask myself this question again and again every day. Do I want this financial freedom? Or do I want to go back to the system? Is this important for me? Do I want to go back to the normal system? Is this important for me? Is it important enough for me to go through another rejection? Or do I go back to the normal system? Is it important enough for me? And every time I sat by myself at night after rejections after rejections after rejections, and I asked myself, the answer was always this financial freedom or this dream that I had on Dream Child was important to me. To going back to my dad and telling him that I made it, I succeeded, was important to me. So I was willing to go through another rejection because this was important enough for me. So the question you have to ask yourself today, looking at your DreamWorks, is it important enough for you? Are you willing to pay the price because it's important enough for you? Okay? If it's not important enough for you, you're going to give up. If you've been giving up all this while, it is not important for you guys. That's about it. You see, when I showed plan after plan after plan after plan, somehow at 97, a friend of mine called me and asked me, Kalai, where are you? I said, I'm working on something that didn't work. He said, what is it that doesn't work? Come and see me. I said, no, it doesn't work and I'm not going to talk about it. Yes, I can see you, let's have a team, but I'm not going to talk about it. So when I went and he asked me, what do you do? And I took a piece of paper and I wrote 3,000 on the left, 3,000 on the right, $225. And he told me, this works. That was my first sign up. And guess what? It didn't over there, guys. And I started building this business. Every time I faced a challenge, I asked myself, was it important to break my financial limitations? The answer to me was important. So I was willing to hang on one more day. It is important, I hang on one more day. It is important, I hang on one more day. And somehow along the way, I met my Uganda dream. I met Hajara. I got excited. We spoke about Uganda. We got into my car. Hajara, do you still remember my Vera WHK 7629? I used to drive up to Penang 4 hours to meet you and you used to sit next to me. We used to go into the streets of Penang and show the plan. And every time we had a challenge, I'll ask myself again, is this Uganda dream important enough? Yes, pay the price. Then when we landed in Uganda, you will not believe it. The first 80 people who signed up, their products got stuck for 8 months. We couldn't detect the products. DHL couldn't deliver the products. FedEx couldn't deliver the products. Why? The addresses were wrong. We didn't know how to put the addresses. Guys, 10 years ago, the addresses in Uganda wasn't simple. We were signing up people left and right. We didn't know how to do the internet transaction, how to put a proper address. FedEx couldn't detect it. The product at last. We were so challenged. There was so much of negativity. People were telling we are scam. But each time we faced the challenge, we asked ourselves, is this Uganda dream important enough? Then we pay the price. Is it important enough? We pay the price. Is it important enough? We pay the price. And guess what? Because we were willing to put this Uganda dream so important to us. We're willing to pay the price. You're sitting in this room today. You're sitting in this room today and I'm in Malaysia and you're part of my organization. I'm talking to you right now because at one point in time till today, this Uganda dream is important to some of us so much and you're willing to pay the price. So the question you really have to ask yourself today, look at your dreams one more time. Is this important enough for you? And are you willing to pay the price? A man who quits, a man who gets discouraged, a man who gets demotivated, a man who gets demoralized, one of the famous words of Uganda, demoralized, is a man who has no importance to what he's fighting for. If this dream, your family, what you put on this is important enough for you, you're willing to pay the price. So the real question today, is this dream on this dream chart important enough for you? Are you willing to pay the price? You tell me, who don't go through challenges? How many married couples in the room? There you go. Do you have challenges? Is your relationship important enough? Are you willing to pay the price? How many of you have kids inside this room? I know majority Ugandans, if I ask this question in Malaysia, 3/4 don't have kids. But if I ask in Uganda, most of you have kids. Are your kids important enough? Are you willing to pay the price for your children? Now back to this question. Is dreams important enough for you, your family, your loved ones? Are you willing to pay the price? Guys, that's about it. If it's important enough, you will pay the price. So before I leave you, I want to tell you one more time. Look at that dream chart of yours. Open that, put it in front of you. Spend 5 minutes, guys. Make that decision. This is important enough. You're willing to pay the price. Yes. Repeat it. I can't. I can and I can't achieve everything. Yes, I can. If it's important enough, you will pay the price. And the only word that I always went to sleep with is that word, I can. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you again.